Hi, it's me again. I am back to read you chapter 6 and 7 of Ron's Secret. There'll be 2 separate videos and then that's the story finished. So we'll we'll see how our favourite owl shagger ends up, shall we? So I don't know if anyone remembers, but in last chapter he killed Hermione and shoved her in the lake. I think it was that anyway, but yeah, it's a bit out of character today in this story, so yeah, let's start. We'll continue. Part 6 is called The Final Encounter, and it does say, warning, this chapter is pretty graphic. Read on at your own risk. So if you don't want to listen to any graphicness, then I'd suggest you cross off this video now. Cross off if you don't want to. Okay, go. Right. The final encounter. A few days later, Mrs. Weasley had planned a shopping trip to Diagon Alley to purchase school supplies. Ron was thrilled. Now he could get another chance to see Hedwig before they boarded the Hogwarts Express. He had sliced off his remaining testicle to get out of this event. He sliced off his other bollock. So basically, Ron has no testicles now. Nice. How does this keep happening? Mrs. Weasley had asked him suspiciously. Oh, Molly, you should be suspicious. Oh, God. I told you, Ma. Quidditch accident. Yeah, bullshit, Ron. Well, I wish you would be more careful. I need you to come so I could buy new robes. She scolded him. Stay in bed then. Make sure you'll get plenty of rest. He's not going to be resting, Molly. He's going to be doing beastality. There's Ron who likes owls and there's Charlie that likes dragons. I think the Weasleys have all got a little secret, to be honest. We all know Ginny's a slut. She finally left with the others, leaving Ron once more with his lover. Yeah, they don't call her an owl, she's his lover now. He approached her more cautiously this time. She was lying lifeless in her cage. Harry had definitely been right about the smell. Ron could smell a horribly pungent odour emanating from the room before he had even opened the door. As he drew nearer to her cage, it was impossible to tolerate. He opened the cage, which was reeking of feces and death, and picked up Hedwig. Why would they just leave it there then? I'm sorry, but no one's stupid enough to leave a dead owl in a cage thinking it might fucking wake up because it's asleep. Seriously. I would say even Hermione's not that stupid, but she's dead now, isn't she? Might just smell naturally, the Weasley house, and Harry's just not that bothered no more by it. He ran his fingers down her limp body. It won't be limp. Rigor mortis, Jesus. She looked so frail that Ron could almost cry. Well, who did that, Ronald? You did. I'm sure it's just the stun, he assured himself. She'll be fine in a few days. She'll be fine. He bent down and kissed her softly. Her once shining feathers now tasted intolerably repulsive. It was strangely arousing to Ron, or perhaps the reason he kept going was mainly due to curiosity. But even he couldn't deny that Hedwig had lost a lot of colour, as her formerly ivory feathers had now turned a dismal shade of grey. 50 Shades of Feathers, more like. Not that it mattered, of course. Ron was in love with Hedwig no matter what she looked or smelled like. Never would he ever dream of leaving her. Absolutely not. Oh, imagine if it turned out like Hedwig had spiked Ron, so he'd just want to have sex with her. Like, she'd given him love potion because Hedwig likes gingers. Oh, I ship it. I do not ship beastality. This next slide. I hope you're ready for me, darling, he whispered to his inamorata. I don't know. Inamorata, I don't know what that word says, oh god. Inamorata, that's what it is. Ron took off his shirt and tossed it aside. He would waste no more time. He would take her now before anyone else tried to take her away from him. He was ready, aching to feel himself inside her. Ron peeled off the rest of his clothes until he was standing completely naked, except for the bandage covering the area where his testicles had once been. Sorry to say, but if you haven't got no testicles, you can't get a boner. I'm sorry, author, but this is scientifically wrong. He took Hedwig in his arms and caressed her lovingly with his tongue. He stroked her rough feathers and her pale little body. I'll be gentle, he told her. Oh. And then he plunged into her. The tightness of her bewildered him. It was excruciatingly painful for Ron. It was a good thing that Hedwig was not conscious to experience this. Ron slowed down his thrust in order to adjust to her tightness. He couldn't help moaning as he felt her around him. Ron buried his face on the ground, which was now covered with feathers. He moaned as he thrust into her. He quickened his pace, going faster and faster, reaching closer to the climax with each push. His cock was beginning to hurt from Hedwig's tightness. Her C-U-N-T. I'm not going to say it out loud because it is a wrong word and I don't mind saying it, but her flower was dry and cold. Ron had forgotten his lubricating spell. She gradually began to moisten, however, as Ron's penis began to bleed. The pain had been utterly agonising, but Ron had bit his lip and kept going. He was almost there. If I had a bloody dick, I wouldn't want to come, I'm sorry, but... And now, as Ron stared emptily at Hedwig's cage, he remembered in shame what had then taken place. I keep forgetting, it's a flashback. The bird had exploded. Right at the peak of their intercourse, when Ron was just about to pour his seed into Hedwig, the single act which would claim both of their virginities, but it had been too much for her, she burst as he emptied himself inside of her. Grey feathers and rotten intestines splattering on the walls and all over Ron. I've got no words. He remembered the stench, absolutely vulgar and pungent. He remembered the slimy, stinking goop which covered every inch of his naked body. Most of all, he remembered the scene of absolute horror when he had turned around to see his entire family, along with Harry, gawking at him with their mouths open in utter disbelief. Oh, shit! Right, yeah, that's where chapter ends. So, that was pretty gross. So she's definitely dead. They're all stupid enough to think that she's alive. Ron is also into necrophilia as well as bestiality. He's not got a lot going for him now. Hermione's dead. Harry's thick as shit. And Mrs. Weasley just thinks it's normal when kids turn up without a bollock. There's not much hope, is there really? So yeah, anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video chapter thing, and I'll see you soon for the next one. Bye!